Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mike with the GFY Social Club, and today's episode is brought to you by Anchor.fm. Now, I know what you're asking me. Hey, stupid, what the hell is Anchor.fm? Well, I'll tell you. It's the easiest way to make a podcast, you dummy. That's right. First off, it's free, so you cheap bastards don't have to worry about getting involved in another subscription service. Yeah, they make it super simple for you. They have creation tools right there on the app and the website that are pretty much idiot-proof, you know, just in case you're like Greg and I and you like to have a couple of adult beverages while recording your podcast. Makes it super easy to get it recorded, get it edited, and get it out there. Then what they'll do is they'll distribute it for you. Yeah, to places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. There's a whole list of them. It's right there on the app and the website. You can see it for yourself. Best part of all, guys, is that you can make money with your podcast, and it needs no minimum listenership. Yeah, anywhere from like $1 million to 15 cents, which is more like our budget. But hey, you know what? It's 2020 and money's money. Am I right? You know it. So anyways, here's what I need you guys to do. Get off your lazy asses. Go download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started today. Get that podcast up there and going. And if anybody else comes up to you and says, hey, Anchor.fm isn't the place to go, like we say here in the clubhouse, tell them to go f*** themselves. That's right. Anchor.fm.
Warning, the views and opinions expressed on the GFY Social Club podcast are solely that of the host and people with a sense of humor. It is intended for purposes of entertainment. Although we do not aim to offend, if you do find yourself offended at any portion of content during this show, the GFY Social Club would like to sincerely tell you to
go yourself.
It is episode 17. That's right. It's Thirsty Thursday. Holy shit. It is the GFY Social Club. Hashtag join the club at GFY Social Club. We are here in the clubhouse today. We got another good one for you. This one's got a little bit of coast-to-coast flavor on it. That's right. So it is episode 17, guys. We're glad you're here with us at the GFY Social Club. We are going to have a good one for you today. That's right. Craig is in the studio with me right now.
What's
That's right.
happening?
He is here.
What is going on, fellas and fellets?
What is up, Craig? We are here in the studio, of course, in Austin, Texas.
Holy dog shit, Texas, only steers and queers come from Texas, private cowboy. And you don't much look like a steer to me, so that kind of narrows it down.
All right, that's right. And we got a big show for you because we switched around the format. So, yeah, now we're Thirsty Thursday, you know, of course. That is a big one. It is Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursdays, boys. Might as well get balls deep in a bottle of Gus and Brew tonight.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Gus and Brew.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, it is Thirsty Thursday, and it's appropriate that it's Thirsty Thursday because we are doing booze reviews now on Thursdays. That's right.
Yep.
So this
Got
is
our shit together on that one.
We did. Fucking thanks, Anheuser-Busch, for sending us that fucking nice. What was his name? Augustus.
What do we call him? I think Frank Bush.
Bush.
It was great grandnephew.
Big Bush, Frank Bush,
Frank.
Augustus Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sent us that, and so he's like, yeah, you know what? You're going into the weekend. What you got to do is you got to do a booze review on a Thursday instead of on a Monday.
What are you, fucking retarded? Doing booze
seriously,
reviews on
dude.
Mondays?
Come on, man. So we got that coming up. We got booze reviews, and of course, news stories, and Golden Boner Award, of course. And we have a guest with us via satellite. That's right, from San Francisco. My very good friend, Pam Benjamin from Mutiny Radio. That's right. What's up, Pam?
Mutiny Radio. Yay, San Francisco. Yay, COVID summer camp. Hooray.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's joining us. She's in the Mutiny Radio comedy studios right there. They do several podcasts a day out of that. I mean, how many podcasts do you actually get out of there in a day? I know you got...
Well, you know, we used to, before COVID times, we had 27 podcasts, 2-hour podcasts that were recorded every week.
Yes.
And that's not even without my shows. I have 6 shows of my own, so I provide 12 hours of content every week like
Holy
a fucking
shit.
maniac.
Wow, we're fucking
But
lazy,
now
Mike.
with COVID times, people aren't coming in. People are scared. And so I've just been filling up a lot of time. And I feel like, I know you're calling yours the clubhouse. I also call this the clubhouse.
Oh, look at that.
It's this crazy Mutiny Radio clubhouse. We've been doing the weirdest things. Poetry readings, fucking Zoom calls, just the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
To, I don't know, just try to keep art alive in these crazy times. And,
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Doing my best. Free speech is important.
It is super important. And
It's the most important.
seriously is. I remember being in those studios during the Mutiny Comedy Festival. That was, oh my God, dude, it was so much fucking fun.
Yeah,
out there in
I
San
heard the stories.
Francisco, dude.
It sounded awesome.
Yeah, we got
really
a little
bummed I
wild.
missed
We got a little wild, and we had. I mean, I was on like 4 or 5 different podcasts there. There was one podcast.
You were on like 10 podcasts. I mean, shows and podcasts. You were one of the most prolific people during the festival. And it was amazing because you were like, I ain't got nothing else to do. I'll just go by and hang out. And I was like, yay, Mike's back. Yay. He can tell us more about cheap beer because none of us drink that beer.
He's an expert.
Like, well,
I think
craft IPAs. He's like, let me tell you about Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but even in San Francisco, cost of living's high. Probably even the Mad Dogs out there are probably $12 a bottle.
Oh man, MD 2020s.
Oh no. There was a guy today across the street drinking a Steel Reserve in his car.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, in your car, you're drinking a Steel Reserve? I mean, he was parked, but still.
Oh, of course.
And I think
Was his name
like
Josh? He might have been my old roommate.
right? Hey, Josh, you drinking that Steel Reserve?
He was a big Steel Reserve and Natty Daddy.
Oh yeah.
He'd drink a 12-pack of those Natty Daddy tall boys every single day.
I've learned it's impossible for me personally to shotgun a Natty Tall Boy. I can only do the 12-ounce. Like a Natty Ice is pretty hardcore as I'm going to get on my shotgun.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. No, I'm partial to the Natty Ice. That's actually, I think we talked about that on one of the podcasts out there because, hey, dude, Natty Ice is a shit. I don't care what anybody says. You can get a 15 rack of those here in Texas, Pam, and I'm not even kidding. 15 of them for $10. It's great, and that does. Oh yeah, it does the trick, man. It just fucking. Oh, right there, right where you need it. Hits you right in the face.
You get what you
That
pay
would get me
for.
drunk for
Cirrhosis
3
of the
days.
liver.
What's that?
That would get me drunk for 3 days.
Yes.
15 Natty
Yeah.
Ice, 5 a night.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
be rich. I'd be doing some phone sex. I'd be doing some crazy shit. Like that would make me be all just. I'd be all blacked out, zooming with people in Jersey, being like, "Look at my dick." And they're like, what are you talking about? This is my big pink dildo, you weirdo. And that's what happens with 5 Natty Ice. You get all crazy, strap it on and flap your dick around in front of the Zoom room.
Oh hell
The
yeah.
most offensive thing about that statement was that you actually said blacked out. We're not supposed to use that. I think you mean you African American
Brown out. Okay. Is that racist? Is it racist if I say blackout? It's got to be a brown. Is it
yeah.
a GOC out?
It's not racist at all. No, not at all.
Is it a white out? Is it a white out?
No, that's just evil. That's just evil.
Goddamn, white boy.
Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, the Natty Ice, man, that was my shit. That is definitely my shit. I'm glad you mentioned free speech because I know Craig has been itching to talk about this with all the shit that's going on in the news lately. You got Trump, who's a fucking clown. You got Joe Biden, who doesn't even know his own first name. You know, like
I wanted to vote for Kanye. When I heard
Right,
Kanye
yeah.
was in there for like a week, I was like, let's get this shit up. Let's fucking scoop it a poop. I was like, scoop the poop, Kanye. You scoop it a poop.
The guy married to the porn
But he
star who
dumped out.
thinks he's Jesus Christ is the most reasonable choice that we have.
Yep, that was it.
Amen.
Yes, yeah, Kanye, way to go, way to go. That would have been great.
Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Don't you understand?
I do not.
I'm trying,
no,
but
definitely don't, Trump.
My favorite thing about 45 is his gorgeous wife who never speaks.
Yes.
I mean, let's talk about feminism for a second. Keep that bitch quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing a great job of shutting her mouth. Am I right?
Yes.
Like, she looks so pretty when she frowns, and I just want her to speak in any language and just say that. But I like it because she's wearing those Chanel suits and not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he is America.
Yeah.
He is America.
Goddamn right. He's that blonde hair, blue eyed guy. Even though he's 73, he's got the trophy wife. You know, and she doesn't say a goddamn thing. She definitely can't cook.
Yeah.
But she just has to stand there and look pretty, right?
Yeah. She does a good job of that.
What was Aaron sitting there screaming about earlier?
Dewey. Isn't that what America's all about?
Oh man.
I mean, it's a true love story though. Tales old as time.
So
You can tell they're very much in love. I think I saw him hold hands once.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's getting fucking hilarious watching the news every single day.
Yes.
Yes. And like just seeing how like just the cognitive decline of Joe Biden in itself is fucking hilarious. I mean, it's sad, but at the same time, seeing his like melting brain just live on
I don't know.
TV every
Decline might be a stretch. That was more like cognitive thrown off a cliff with an anvil.
We have a history in the United States. We love autism. How much not autism, Alzheimer's. How much did we love Reagan? Reagan might also have been autistic, but he was definitely Alzheimer's, right? So maybe we
he sure was.
We're like he's something. I'm sorry, it all starts with A. I get confused after 2 White Claws.
He ain't right. That's all. There's something going on there.
Yeah, we do.
Well, maybe the problem with Alzheimer's is it erases your ability to memorize.
Yes.
So I need my figurehead as a president to actually, I don't know, have coherent sentences.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, as like a low bar.
Sure.
I want you to be able to.
Sure.
The old Easter egg hunt at the White House is going to get real interesting if Biden's in there on that house. Oh, I found an egg. Oh, I found another egg. Oh, I found another egg.
Just put it right in front of him, and then he'll like literally will just be. You won't even know that he took it away from him.
Oh, I found an egg.
What was it? The nice thing about Alzheimer's is that you get to meet new people every day.
Yeah.
You know.
Aww.
Isn't
That was another joke. What's the best thing about Alzheimer's? You get to hide your own Easter eggs.
Where are these chickens? Where are these chickens that are laying hard-boiled eggs? Where are they coming from? It's magical.
There was a great meme out there that was like, if Joe Biden got $1 every time he was confused, he'd be like, where the hell did all these dollars come from?
It kind of sounds like he's on ketamine all the time. It's like a fun disassociative. Maybe Alzheimer's.
He's on ketamine.
Like,
Trump's on amphetamines, and together they'll have a party.
Oh, sounds like an exciting ass party, man. We got Alzheimer's, ketamine. Oh, that'd be
Trump's on those the black the ones that housewives used to take to mother's little helpers there. He's eating those things like Skittles.
Good stuff.
like
Benzodiazepines, give them to me. To Pam family, give them to Pam.
So here's what you
That's
do.
the one thing about. I feel like Melania is actually maybe she is on ketamine. Maybe she is disassociative.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a ketamine girl.
Yeah.
Maybe
She's
that's
on something. She had to fuck Trump at least once to have Barron, so she had to be on probably ecstasy, I would think.
She's a ketamine girl.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh man. So yeah, it's just funny watch. We were just watching the news and shit like that. And it's just
it was rough.
And it's getting brutal.
It was very rough.
Very rough. But you know what?
3030303.
Text Joe to 30330.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
I fucking know how it goes. Stop. Get off my ass.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all.
So we got, it's just a shit show up and through November. So you know what? Just sit back and enjoy the ride and just get a good laugh out of it as long as you can. That's what we recommend.
Before the Civil War starts, get in there and have a good laugh.
We don't have no big political message here to sit there and send out one side or another. No, fuck that. You know what?
Yeah.
There's Pam, you know this, the unwritten rule when you have a drink in your hand. What is the two things that you do not talk about? Religion and politics. Am I right?
Fair. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely fair.
Fuck yes. Instead, tell a joke.
About religion and
Religion and politics.
Yeah, you can tell a joke about religion or politics,
Yes.
but don't actually talk
Yes.
about religion or politics.
That's
fair,
right.
absolutely fair rule.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. All right. So
I saw a picture of our fat fuck today, and it was really funny because it was a meme that one of my friends sent around.
Yeah.
And it was all the last presidents, and they're all running. So there's a picture of George, the first George Bush.
Seen
and he's
that
running,
meme.
And there's a picture of George W. Bush, and he's running, and Clinton's running, and Obama looking very sexy running. And then there's a picture of our fat fuck sitting, and he's just like a donut. He's just like, I am a potato boy. Like, I poop potato mush.
Well, I mean,
He's so gross.
Obama's Kenyan. He was born there, so I mean, they're traditionally very good marathon runners.
So he can run fast. We know that.
What do you need, you people?
Also,
You mean, you people.
I believe his wife is a man. I think that's the other theory that's going around. His wife is
She's
actually
got that accent.
a secret man. It's a really good conspiracy theory. It's worth a laugh if you want to look into that one.
But here's the thing. Clits are just tiny dicks, and I will suck Michelle Obama's clit any day. I hope that
same
it's
here.
big. I want to take her fat clit and put it in my mouth and be like, thank you for speaking and being a real feminist. And you were first lady. Thank you for caring about fat kids or whatever, and like changing school lunches and like being awesome. Like, yes, Michelle. Yes.
Now let me suck your
give it
baby
to
dick.
Michelle. Look at baby dick. I mean, that's the thing is, I don't like a big dick in my ass, but I will take her clit in my ass any day. I will take her big baby dick.
I've always said that myself, you know. I don't like a big, but I'll take a clit in the ass any day of the week. As long as it's, moderately to small sized.
That's gay.
Yeah, it was pretty gay.
Okay there, judgmental Jim.
I wonder if Colton's going to love this episode. What do you think?
I'm sure he will.
We're going to get some notes on this one. Jesus Christ, just quit already.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. We had this, we have a friend of ours that's a comedian here in Austin, and he listens to our podcast, and then he likes to give us notes, and we mention him every podcast because of this. And his notes were, first, stop saying retard so much, which is really hard to do.
Whoa, wow, he's woke as fuck, huh?
Oh, yeah, he sure is. He
Sure is. And then the second one was not so many gay jokes. So he forgot that we are children.
Yes.
And we are just going to double down, and that's why we literally try to throw as many gay jokes and retards in every single episode.
And we hang out in a clubhouse, so he should have known we were children.
Yes.
It's
You should have known that you're from Boston and you're wicked retarded. It's your word. You own it.
10-4, good buddy.
You're wicked retarded. Go back to school.
Well, so you hear, you guys are hearing how fucking hilarious Pam is. We're going to talk to her in an interview here a little bit. But Pam, I'm glad you're here to join us with this for this whole episode, because we do this staple segment every single show. And we find the best, most groundbreaking news stories that we can find on the internet.
Putting my journalism degree to use.
Yes.
In the clubhouse.
That journalism degree is going to good use. So that means it's time for news. Craig, what do we got for our first story?
Do you have the...
Yeah, it's right
we
there.
Go.
He's got it.
First story is a Colorado Springs sued for declaring war. Wow, can't read. We're going to start that over again.
Yes, start that right over.
Top.
Yeah, right from the top.
First story from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Colorado Springs sued for declaring war on the word fuck. Should be declaring war on my inability to fucking speak to. I feel like Sleepy Joe over here. Jesus Christ.
Seriously.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
So Colorado Springs is declaring war on the word fuck. So apparently what happened was, I guess a policeman pulled somebody over, I think it was. And then there was like an issue, Michael Sexton,
yes.
I think his name was. Yeah. And now they're suing because he got in serious trouble for sitting there and saying the word fuck repeatedly and got cited for it. So now he's suing because you were talking about...
flipped off a cop. I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was he just saying fuck, or was he saying fuck the police?
He was saying fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck the police.
Yeah.
Fuck the police. That's fine. Are you not allowed to say that? Isn't that a free speech?
Free speech.
Well, you would think so.
You would think.
Last time I checked, Colorado Springs is not in Russia.
This is very true.
Yes.
So he was he got in trouble for constantly saying the word fuck.
Yep.
And let's see, where's my notes here? Oh yeah. So the ladder exchange, there was a video, but we'll put that up on our GFY Social Club Facebook page, so check it out. So
Killing it with the videos lately.
we are
too.
killing it with the videos. We had a great one in the last one. So the second involves Sexton's arrest over his use of the word fuck in phrases such as fuck the police. Yes. I'm more than happy to have you stand there and yell. However, yelling the word fuck is coarse or offensive language. So he ended up getting an extra citation from that.
What did they actually cite him for? I'm sure it says in here.
I think it was a traffic violation.
Okay.
I believe it was.
I mean, they can't. We don't have obscenity laws. In this country
there's no.
anymore.
Well, that's why Pam was sitting there talking about free speech, and I was like, oh yeah, fucking come on, man,
It's
you
fucking bullshit. Is what it is.
Well, now here's the question. Was he amplified? Because if you have an amplification device and you're spreading, if you're just yelling with your own voice, that's fine and legal. But if you're amplifying your voice in any way, then it could kind of be considered an entertainment violation, potentially.
Possibly a noise violation, maybe, if you're like. But yeah, it doesn't say anything about that.
Well, and if you do have an entertainment license and you're doing something loud to the general public, you can get in trouble for screaming profanities into a PA.
Sure. Because it's amplifying the actual use of the word. Yeah.
That would have been amazing if he was driving around
it depends.
like in the Blues Brothers when they're promoting the show, like he had a giant speaker. You in the canoe, go fuck yourself. Like he had that Chicago Dan Aykroyd accent, just driving around. You two girls, go fuck yourselves. That would have been awesome.
And film it. Get it on film.
I don't think he was. I think he was just fucking telling cops to fuck off. And really, when do cops not need to fuck off? Almost never. Almost always cops need to fuck off. So
yeah, I don't know. It's just
nobody wants. It must be really rough for cops if they go to a party and no one knows they're a cop and they're still kind of cute and they're like a cute cop and they're not in their outfit. Like, how long do they wait before they divulge that they're a cop? Because, like, I'd be all into that shit and be like, hey, what's up? And they'd be like, I'm an officer. I'd be like, no. Yeah, quit your day job, baby. Don't keep your day job. Quit.
You fucking scumbag, fucking piece of shit.
Yes. Yeah. So I can't believe that. I mean, that if that's not the start of the death of fucking free speech, I don't know what is. That's really upsetting.
Yeah.
To Colorado Springs, I say,
fuck you.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yes. Colorado Springs.
Hopefully he wins a bunch of money.
Yes. I know. That'd be awesome.
Then they can take out a whole billboard that says "fuck you" to the cops. I can't get him for that one. He's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs so much right now. I want to actually take my ovaries out of my body and have them suck those. They can suck your balls, and then I can actually take my ovaries out of my body, and they can suck those too for a while, and kind of like massage them a little in the mouth, and then we'll stick them back in.
Hell yeah!
That is correct.
Oh man. So fuck Colorado Springs. You
probably wouldn't even get arrested for that in Colorado Springs unless you said "suck my fucking ovaries," and then you'd have a problem there. Right?
All right, so that brings us to our second story of the day. This one comes from Seoul, South Korea. You ever been there? You ever been to South Korea? No.
That's the good. We're in South. We're in the good Korea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I applied there once to be a teacher, and I did not get accepted.
Oh, you didn't?
They did not want me brainwashing their children with my weird leftist American tropes.
I actually had a friend who did that right out of college. That was his first job. He taught, I think, for a year or two over there.
Went over to Seoul, South Korea?
I don't know if it was in Seoul, but it was in South Korea.
It was in the good Korea?
It was in the good Korea.
Yeah. Not the Korea.
Ironically enough, he wanted to go to North Korea.
Said nobody ever. What the what?
No, he wanted to go over there. He wanted to go over there and meet Dennis Rodman. He thought that was his best shot to meet the worm.
Fucking why?
I mean, who wants to go to North Korea? Are you kidding me? See the fucking. Oh, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to see the little fat rocket man, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they call him?
Ask him where he gets his hair cut and buy a pair of giant lady sunglasses.
Yes. All right. So this one, they apparently in Seoul they have to like really. It's too bad you weren't over there teaching because you know what? Maybe they could have learned from you. Seeing how they had to put out a big PSA saying not to wash or microwave your dollar bills because of fears of the virus, because that was actually causing people to like have their money get burnt up or like go away. I mean, this is and from the story. This is from AP.
I can teach them how to money launder. If they want to launder money, I know exactly how to teach them how to do that in a really small way. Like it's not that tough.
Can you teach them how to safely microwave their money though?
You have to have a business on the side. I mean, I could give you a dissertation, but let's not get into that now.
Yeah,
that's a fucked up way to launder money. You don't microwave it.
No, don't.
If you're gonna microwave it, only use the popcorn button though.
Yep,
that's
where it's set, and then you got to put the approximate ounces, you know, and then the lowest setting. Yeah. But so yeah, they apparently there was a few people. Actually, one person says here there's a lady who found out the hard way when she put her banknotes in a washing machine to remove possible traces of coronavirus, and then there was somebody else that actually microwaved them. Now the person actually ended up damaging about 50,000 won, is what it says, which equals about $42.
50,000?
50,000 won right there. Yeah.
Okay.
About which is equal to about $42. And then somebody else.
Couldn't even round up to 50 to make him feel it.
Right. And then
you have to round down to 40. Don't you know math? Come on. In math,
I know. No, Pam, I don't know math. There's been many examples of how bad at math I am. I promoted a show that I had to do last week, and I said it was 7:30 Central Time and 6:30 for my people back on the East Coast, which is wrong. It would have been 8:30. So yeah, I know math is not my thing.
No, that's like algebra. Not a math. You're disassociated and have no connection with reality. That's fine.
I think I'm just dumb. But the stories like these, I do like them because this is from South Korea, so it proves that
you're not the only dumb one.
Not all retarded people are in the United States.
This is very true. Yes. So according to the bank, another person, surnamed Kim, shocker, put bills in a microwave over similar coronavirus concerns early this year. The bank ended up having to exchange out Kim's damaged money with the new currency worth 5.2 million won. Right, which is worth the equivalent of $4,370.
So wait, this guy microwaves his money and they just gave him more?
Yes.
So like, well, okay, when we get done this podcast,
and I'm
gonna go put some.
There's the microwave money.
There's the picture.
I'm gonna go put some money in the toaster and then bring it to the bank, and maybe they'll give me, $20,000.
I know, right?
Yeah, I put it in there. I thought it was, I was making toaster strudels with George Washington's face on them.
Okay, so what you do is you make counterfeit bills.
Yes.
And then you microwave them.
You microwave the shit out of them.
You turn them in, and you go, oh no, I microwaved my dollar because I was afraid of Corona. Oh, guys, this is $1 million idea. Stop it. We're not supposed to be saying this on a podcast. No.
That is out fucking standing. Where is my sound drop for that when I need it? Oh, you son of you glorious. Oh, it's gone.
Here's the other thing.
That's how I sanitize my bills after I do cocaine with them. Is that
Today, we salute you.
If you hand wash your bras and your underwear, you should be hand washing your money, you dumb fucks.
Yes.
Why would you put them in a washing machine? You hand wash that shit. What a woolite.
Well,
take off all that fucking coronavirus.
Maybe they don't want to get their hands dirty when it comes to laundering their money, I guess. I don't know. You know, that's South Korea. They like to follow the rules of the, you know, they don't want to get caned in the fields. Isn't that what they do over there? Cut your hands off and shit.
I wonder if they fold the money with little chopsticks when they're done after they microwave it.
Oh man. Oh, well, that's great. That's great. Don't launder your money and don't microwave it either, because unless it's counterfeit. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
No, we won't talk about that later, Mike.
Give them all the gems.
That'll be private message stuff. Yes. So that brings us to our third story. This one was pretty interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
Not Jamie found this one. He was. I think he was touching himself over this one. So
son of a bitch.
We got a producer here, Pam. I guess you can call him that. He's kind of an audio engineer / producer. His name is Not Jamie.
Yeah.
And
we got him here right now. We don't know how much longer he's going to be here because he's fucking up. He's on his last leg.
Oh my God, he is terrible. He's the worst. And yet, don't even look at me. Yeah, bury your head.
Is he a sex monkey? I have a feeling that Silent Jamie is a sex monkey.
Oh, I don't know. Don't smile, you fuck. Yeah, stop smiling. Don't just look down. We have to chain him to a radiator. So what is this story, Craig?
This one comes out of Thailand.
Oh, so we got a real Asian flavor today for our for our news stories.
This is the actual headline. Thousands of sex-mad monkeys overrun city and eat themselves to death as cops admit they are powerless to control them.
Sex-mad monkeys. Yeah. This is awesome. So they're just running. Basically, they're running around and they're eating like just random junk food and shit like that on the streets.
That makes them super horny, I guess. I know. You give me a couple Twix bars and
oh man,
I'm ready to go.
So Pam, how are the sex monkeys out there in the streets of San Francisco?
How are the sex monkeys? I need some fucking sex monkeys. Like, I am in COVID times. I will take sex monkeys. I've been changing my rules. I used to only put my sights under 40. Now I'm like, oh yeah, 55-year-old sex monkey. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm definitely.
You don't go the other way, Pam? You don't go for the cradle robber? You only go up, or?
I usually am a cradle robber, yeah. I prefer my men to be around 24, 25.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, she likes them young.
Yeah, that's
I'm
where
almost
it's at.
50, so whatever.
Fuck, that's even better. Younger the better. I mean, to a point.
Well, I mean,
these sex monkeys weren't on Little St. James, so we're not going that direction.
Don't call them sex monkeys. They're sex workers. They're trafficked. They're not working. How dare you? Being forced to.
I think there was jokes. It was actually just like a bunch of methed out Thai lady boys that went crazy and started storming the streets.
How tight is that?
People would find that offensive.
Oh, so we got so these sex crazed monkeys.
Yeah, I saw I've seen some not of sex crazed monkeys, but there's something happened where there was some kind of typhoon or something that wiped out a lot of these monkeys food source. So they were overrunning towns. And there's a video this monkey runs up and grabs a kid and tries to run away with it, and the father grabs the kid back, but that monkey would have eaten that child.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
You remember seeing that video, right? Where the kids, the monkeys came up and dragged a little toddler away, halfway down an alley. It was insane.
Fuck kids.
I wonder if that was the start of this.
Don't fuck kids.
Yes.
Don't fuck kids, but kind of fuck kids.
No.
In a different sense of the word fuck.
Yes.
But yes.
Well, I think
if someone's child got dragged away by a monkey, obviously they aren't wearing their H&M backpack, which has a monkey on it with a little leash. Keep your kid on a leash. If the monkeys are trying to drag it away, you can drag it back.
Is age of consent from human to monkey, is that the same as it is I don't know how that, I don't know what human
what's
to
a
monkey
monkey
years
year?
are. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a human to monkey issue.
Yeah,
I think it's at least three,
I think
3 monkey years equals 1 human year.
Not Jamie. Can you
Can
you do something for once and actually look up the difference? Like, you know how dogs have 7 years, cats are what, like 9 or something, and then
we need to know
look
what
up monkey years.
are. Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. Just look it up.
Monkey ratio.
Now Jamie's
We
gonna.
need the ratio of monkey years to people years.
Yeah.
Do they have a different lifespan? Not Jamie's on it right now. So Craig. So what ended up happening? The police. They can't control them.
They're powerless to stop them. I don't know.
So are they protesting? Are they breaking stuff? Are they rioting and looting?
No, they're just having sex and eating each other. I think.
Just having sex and eating each other. That's all.
Which I went to some of those protests peacefully, by the way, and I think that was happening. I think I saw some people having sex and eating themselves down there too.
Oh well, there it is. There it is.
Not so much rioting here in Austin, but there was.
Don't get me excited. Having sex and eating each other. My goodness, that's what we're talking. I think I didn't listen for a second, and then I heard the right things, but out of context. Perfectly out of context.
Nope, that was totally on context. That was right on point. What is it? Not how much? How much? Not all right. 3.2 years. He says.
That sounds. Yeah,
you were right. You said 3 years.
Yeah, 3.2 years.
3.2.
Yeah. So
monkey years to human years.
Monkey years to human years.
That's about what I thought.
Yeah, 3.2.
3.4 at the most, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there it is.
Well, you earned your paycheck for this week, not Jamie. You get that Anchor.fm money.
Way to go. Oh, man. Congratulations. All right. Good job, not Jamie. So we have sex-crazed monkeys running around the streets of Thailand right now. So as if 2020 could not get any better. There you have it. That brings us to our...
It's just like the Tenderloin, actually. I live in the Tenderloin, and there are a bunch of sex-crazed monkeys on the street. It's just everyone.
Probably
I can't tell you how many. Maybe I shouldn't call it cat calling anymore. I should call it monkey calling. People are just screaming. They're screaming things like, "Show me your pretty mouth," and that's because I have a mask on. And so it's like it's definitely COVID time.
That's not a bad pickup line, actually.
Show me your pretty mouth. Like it's like, okay, I'll take my mask down so you can see. Like, what do you want to put in my mouth? Hopefully it'll be some food because I'm hungry.
Very nice.
Probably less. Much less human feces on the streets of Thailand with the the monkeys than there is in the Tenderloin.
Comparative.
What's the ratio from monkey shit to human shit?
Ooh, good call. Not Jamie. Can you get him?
Yeah.
Not Jamie.
It's hard to quantify that because monkeys throw their poo.
That's true.
And humans try to hide it. So
I don't know.
One of them is being overt, and one of them is being surreptitious. I'm sure it'd be a difficult measurement.
If humans try to hide it, they're not doing a very good job of being humans in San Francisco in the Tenderloin.
Hey, I'll tell you what, they're not being a good job by where I live because I see human shit on the ground every single day.
Yeah, and in South Austin too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the way to circumvent that is the way that the questionably housed in San Francisco are doing it, in that they take the leftover bins, little clamshell things, and then they shit in the clamshell and then close it up and stick it in the garbage can. So a lot of people are trying to be like, although we're just throwing human feces away in a garbage can instead of on the street.
Still quite terrifying.
At least they're putting it in a to-go container.
That's at least considerate.
In the garbage can.
Are they using styrofoam to-go containers though?
That's biodegradable.
We don't use styrofoam here in San Francisco. We're woke as fuck. We've got shit on the street, so we're woke about it. You know, come on.
We got
styrofoam shit.
We got a friend in Rhode Island who'd have a few things to say about your coffee cups there. That was the case.
Yeah, the Starbucks. Yeah, because Dunkin' Donuts just got rid of their Starbucks. We played it on our last episode the other night, and this guy
he was pretty upset.
Got a video. It's actually up on our social media, so you can go check it out and see how amazingly angry this guy is.
He was a little, I would say, miffed. You know?
Yeah, over no styrofoam cups in Dunkin' Donuts anymore. They went to the paper cups, and he was not None too pleased.
Well, dude, he was scalding himself with all those, all that coffee he was spilling on himself.
It sounds like no more wire hangers.
Yes,
no
yes.
More drops.
No more hangers ever.
Fucking scumbag! Fucking faggots!
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. Talking about
he was not happy.
His coffee cup.
So that's ridiculous. All right, so that's our last story of the day. So yeah, that does it for news, guys. All right, so what we got to do is we got to pay the bills. We got to get that big $1.21 from Anchor because we've got.
How many what is it? Wands? Do you think we could get?
How
from
many?
Anchor? Can we convert that and then we can microwave them and get some more?
Not Jamie. Find out how many wands is $1.21. Find that out for me, okay? During this commercial break, I need you to do that.
I'm going to guess from the numbers previously, and I'm going to go $7.26.
$7.26. $7.26 won. $1.21. Okay. Well, we're going to find out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a commercial break. We got to pay the bills and cut an ad for Anchor. And we'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to talk to Pam. We're going to get to know Pam a little bit better, find out all about Mutiny Radio. And then, of course, guys, it is Thirsty Thursday, so we do have booze reviews coming up. We got a delicious San Francisco beer in here today in honor of Pam being on the show, and this very San Francisco show today. So we got an Anchor Anchor.fm ad, and then we got an Anchor beer. That's right. So stick around, and of course, the Golden Boner Award is still coming up later on the episode as well. So stick around, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is your buddy Craig, the Ferg Doggy, hanging out here at the GFY Social Club. Just want to talk to you guys for a minute about Anchor.fm. If you're like us and want to start a podcast during these tumultuous times, I mean, honestly, is there anything we need more right now than more podcasts? I think that's what's going to heal us as a country right now in these trying times, is more podcasts. So you go on Anchor FM, and it's a one-stop shop, guys, for all your podcasting needs. They have creation tools. It's all right there. It's all right there. The best part about it is they pay you. All right? And if most of you are like me, you're lazy pieces of shit who are on unemployment right now. Okay? We don't want to go back to work. And you know, that extra $600 from the government is gonna run out at some point. And you can get some extra money in your pocket just from using Anchor.fm. So here's what you do. You just go download the free Anchor app, or you go to Anchor.fm, and then you just get drunk and rant into a microphone like me and Mike do twice a week at the GFY Social Club. Hashtag join the club.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mike with the GFY Social Club. You guys hate Facebook? Do you? I think Facebook's annoying. You've heard me rant and complain about social media nonstop, but I gotta tell you, though, there's one spot on Facebook you can go to that's really cool. Yeah, it's called @GFY Social Club. Yeah, go check out our page. Give it a like. You know? Give it the old thumbs up. Start following us. Let me tell you why. We're going to start having articles up there. Ridiculous news stories that we don't get to on the show. If you missed the show for whatever reason, we'll have all the links for the shows that you missed. It's up there every time. And also, you can't forget ridiculous pictures that we're going to find and we're going to put up there that we're going to make fun of. So, you know what? If you want a little distraction from all the garbage that's on Facebook on a regular basis, well, then go ahead and give it a like, give it a follow @GFY Social Club on the Facebook page, and spread the word. Spread the word to your friends. Spread the word to your family. Spread the word to your significant other. Let them know how awesome the GFY Social Club is, and tell them to hashtag join the club @GFY Social Club on social media. That's on Facebook, of course. And yeah, join the club.
It's Facebook. Sucks. it's Facebook. Nah, 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 nah. They wreck my page with their constant changes, and I hate them, but I can't stay away.
And we're back. Had to pay those bills. Had to make that 68 cents off of Anchor.fm. You know, I mentioned this last time, Craig. You know, there are several other podcasts that shit on their sponsors, and I don't know if that's like looked down upon so much, or if people like look forward to it now, especially since there's other podcasts from hilarious comedians.
I'm sure if Anchor.fm ever hears this, they might be offended, but I'm not. A little bit. I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, everybody. It's like you got Bill Burr who does it. You know, he shits all over his sponsors,
and I mean, we're at their level. You know, so
yeah.
They can get away with it, so we should be able to too. Yeah, that's the way I think.
Oh man, yeah, Bill Burr, Tim Dillon, like they do great, hilarious reads. But people look forward to it because they know it's going to be like funny to hear what they're going to say. I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, I think Anchor.fm is a piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're legit Nazis. That's not why. I mean. That's not why we went with them. They're giving us 68 cents. That's
right,
why,
right.
You know.
Yeah, we're making that.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're legit Nazis. They've also been on Epstein's jet multiple times. I think second only to Bill Clinton in that regard.
Anchor.fm, the official podcast streaming service of Little St. James.
Yeah.
Oh, so we are joined. We're here with obviously Craig, the Ferg Doggies in studio with us as per usual. But we have a good friend of mine, Pam Benjamin. She's joining us via satellite from San Francisco. There in the Mutiny Radio studios. Pam.
Yay! San Francisco. Yay, Mutiny Radio. Yay.
Yeah. I gotta. For those of you who don't know anything about Mutiny Radio, what the fuck is wrong with you? First off, second off. They're based out of San Francisco. They run the Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival every year. I was lucky enough to be on that last year. It was one of the best times I've ever had. I mean, not just comedy, just performance-wise in a really long time. And it was just so much fun. And Pam, Tell us a little bit about yourself first. I mean, I know you live in San Francisco, obviously. You're a stand-up comedian yourself. You're a radio producer. You're a director. You're just a Jill of all trades. Yes.
Yeah. I'm an ardent seeker of stage time.
Yes.
I'm a narcissist with really low self-esteem, so
nice.
Much stage time. And I was thinking about getting an OnlyFans just so I can feel pretty. You know what I mean? It's hard these days, but San Francisco is amazing and scary and weird and expensive and awesome.
Yep.
And getting gentrified and changing, and Mutiny Radio is one of the cool things that still exists from the old San Francisco times.
That's awesome. Sure.
Very, like, my aesthetic is super dirtbag. Like, I'm a dirtbag. That's just the way it is. Like, I do a thing, like, I don't know if you subscribe to the Church of Drunken Hobosity, but that's when you wear your clothes when you fall asleep and you wake up and you just wear them the next day.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a name for that. I've just been doing that.
I was gonna say that's like a normal. That's what Craig calls Tuesday.
Yeah, I didn't. Now that's cool. There's a name for it now.
It's the Church of Drunken Hobosity, and usually you tithe to your bar, but now there's no bars open, so I don't know who to tithe to, and I can't tip my guy at the corner store. Like, I feel like every time I buy a beer from him, I should give him $1, and I don't have to, and I'm like, what happened with this economy? Like, all right, I'm kind of down with this. I don't have to tip anymore from the drinks. I like it. I'm in. It's good. Like, it's cheaper. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't know what's going on in these crazy COVID times. I'm providing a lot of stage time because Mutiny Radio is considered an essential business in that we're radio.
Yep.
And so luckily I've been able to keep my storefront open in San Francisco, which is unusual.
Yep.
And we're trying to, I've got bleach and I've got mic condom covers and everybody's keeping it safe. But I have a weekly outdoor show we've been running, and I haven't been promoting it at all because I'm afraid of people getting all on my ass and being like, you're asking people to gather. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, we're dealing with that here too. It sucks.
I put up signs. It's for the neighborhood. It's like everybody's outside, socially distanced. We do comedy. But I need stage time. Like
people need stuff to do.
It's hard. I just need people to pay attention to me. And I used to do it with like...
Well, I didn't mean just you, Pam. I meant like people... It's awesome that you're doing that because, you're being responsible. People need shit. I mean, I was going fucking crazy when this thing first started happening. You took everything away that we love to do.
Yes.
And then we're just supposed to sit home and do, and it's at the point now where it's like, let's fucking go. Let's, if you can do it and be safe, fucking do it.
Yes.
So good for you. That's awesome that you're doing that.
Yep.
I wish we had more people like you in Austin.
Yeah, so seriously, it'd be fantastic. But I mean,
there's so many outdoor venues that are opening in the Bay Area. It's amazing. There's a new one called the Oakland Unicorn, and it's in an alleyway that he's been able to commandeer, and there's a gate on it so that people can drink inside because it's not on the street.
Wow.
Sure.
And it's outside, socially distanced. He uses radios so that everybody can either have their own radio on their little table so that they can hear, so it doesn't deal with like noise issues. And people are just getting really creative as to how to have performance-based entertainment.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing it for years. What are we going to do? We're just going to shut everything down and everything stops.
When people say that the new normal, it drives me because this has to go back to the way it was before. There's no way, these diseases have been a part of human history since humans. So it's like at some point you just gotta bite the bullet and
Yes, we need our stage time, goddammit, because we are self-loathing, depressed, narcissistic human beings, and we need to get up there, and we need that instant gratification.
It's not even It's not even just that. It's like music.
No, I
gatherings.
know.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's
No, people need to socialize.
Yeah.
They really do. Like, and that's one of the things that's been crazy. You need to be around people. Like when we were there at the comedy festival, I mean, that little room. This room. First off, describe Mutiny Radio Studios, because I mean, I tried to describe it to people, and they're like, "Wait a second, it's a house." I'm like, "No, it's not a house. It's a storefront, but it's like it's the room is like the size of a medium to large living room,
Yeah.
And then, but you fucking pack the people in there, dude.
That's
you can't even breathe in there.
That's like the performance room. And then do you also have podcast studios in the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a 30-seat performance space.
Okay.
In non-COVID times, it's 30 seats.
Yeah.
In COVID times, it's 12 seats.
Yep.
So right now it's a 12-seat performance space attached to a really large studio.
Yes.
And so we can actually have people in the studio as well. But I have a dirtbag aesthetic. It looks like when you were 7 and there was a cool neighbor who was like 14 and they sort of had a clubhouse and you knew they had all the Playboys and the penthouses somewhere in that room. Like that's like I'm for. Like there's like a poster of Daryl Strawberry on the wall. Like before you knew it, like you're like, oh, now I know he's a cool guy. But it's like every childhood dream. It almost feels like, buckwheat in that old school, like Little Rascals sort of dirty, weird free speech, crazy art on the walls, just like everything's a mess. I try to clean the bathroom at least once a week. But
I can see the wall.
Best to hover.
I can see the wall behind you. And it reminds me of like the old punk rock clubs I used to go to like in Portland when I go to shows in high school. I love it. I mean, that's just that wall. So I already like it just from seeing that.
I'm like, I would say I'm pretty punk rock. I'm I'm more of like a metal fan. Like I really love metal, but punk rock is fine as long as they don't have that stupid whiny voice where they.
Are you talking emo? Talking about emo?
I don't like that. No, I like emo. Like I like some like deep shoegazer, like Sooth John Stevens. Like I want to kill myself and I love people. Like I love that shit. But when you're listening to punk and it's like it's that meow 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 meow. It's like that whiny thing, that cadence that I have. Fuck that.
Well, yeah, the clubs we used to do was more like the hardcore punk. You know, we go like Madball and Sick of It All and stuff like that. But it had the vibe that I'm getting from the room you're in. It had that very much that vibe, which I love.
Yeah, I'm vibing dirty here, but that's the thing about San Francisco is that used to be an aesthetic that everyone appreciated, and things are getting more clandestine. They're getting more sterilized. They're getting more like streamlined. Yep. People keep saying, "Oh, well, if you take everything out of there and you paint the place and I'm like, no, why would I? What the fuck, man? Like I'd rather spend money tuning the piano than I would paying for paint. Like that's kind of where my like priorities lay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So but Mutiny, I'm like I used to run 4 open mics a week here and a weekly showcase. Now I'm running 1 open mic. I'm still running Joke Workshop on Mondays.
The Joke Workshop is awesome. I took part in that. You had me on that one when I was out there for the comedy festival, and that was a lot of fun. And it's basically kind of like you do your 5-minute set, and then you have other comics in the room that are going to sit there and they're going to offer you like, oh, hey, you should dive into this a little bit. Maybe try this as a tag and then do this. And then they like literally go into it. So it's like a workshop. Yeah, but it's so.
Here's the cool thing I like about that is you're getting. It's not just some random asshole coming up to you and being like, you should do it like this.
Yeah.
Why don't you say it like this?
You should try this in your act sometime. Yeah, no.
Hey,
no.
don't say that because then people will think, no, fuck you.
But we do it we have that idea, but it's in a safe space where people are taking notes. I encourage people to have paper in front of them and take notes.
Yeah.
And give positive comments and give tags. And we really try to keep it positive. I always tell people, if you're going to feed someone a shit sandwich, make the bread taste good. Nice toasted brioche bun on the top and the bottom. And then you feed the shit in the middle. And it's more palatable because the bread is crispy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I went to graduate school for writing. I have some master's degrees in writing, and I run it like a graduate level poetry workshop. So I have an MFA in poetry, and I would get in these rooms with these people, and it was pretentious dog shit, yes, but we talk about each other's poems in a really constructive way. And so I took that and just turned it into comedy-based writing, and people take it seriously. And
they do.
That's awesome.
I've gotten so many tags, and the best part is when I give someone a tag and then I hear their joke later and they use my tag. I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
I'm so happy because
I'm still using a few tags from that joke workshop that I did out there. It was great because, I mean, that was during the comedy festival. So you had comics from all over. There was a couple there in San Francisco that fed me a few different takes on a couple of bits I did, and then a couple of tags. And I'm like, oh yeah, definitely fucking using that. Definitely using that. And I've been using it before, obviously, everything shut down. And it was just boom, boom, boom. I was like, that was so valuable for me just to get that, you know. That's
what I was saying. It's awesome because it's not just unsolicited advice from people you don't want to talk. Or a lot of times, like fans or not fans, people at open mics, just like drunk people come up and like try to give you unsolicited advice. This is like everyone knows going in what it is. Yeah. People are taking notes. People are being creative and constructive. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes. So you've got
and that's what the concept of Mutiny Radio. Like, I know I'm not like, I don't make any pretensions about where I am in this situation of open mic comedy. I provide a space for new comics to learn and grow, and that's what I want to keep.
Yeah.
I love bringing, I can't afford to bring in big headliners, and a lot of times big comedians don't want to come to Mutiny Radio because they don't want to burn their work. Right. So they don't necessarily want to be live streamed or podcast because they're real professional comedians and they don't want to burn their work. Yeah. They'll do podcasts because that's just off the cuff or whatever, but they won't do their set.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if I do even pay them to do a show, I still can't live stream them or do a podcast. So it sort of doesn't even behoove me to try to do that. I like working with the underground people who are growing. Yeah. And in the future, so one of the comedians that I used to work with way back in the day when Mutiny started was David Bory, and now he is the voice of Comedy Central.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, David Bory. Yeah, he was here all the time. One of the first shows I ever produced in 2013 had him on it here at Mutiny Radio. And so I have all of these old recordings of people who've gone on to do other things. And it's really exciting because I'm like, I've got their, material from when hopefully David's, he's going to keep going on in the future in the firmament of comedy. Sure. And I've got a set from 2013. Yes, I can use that stuff later, I think.
Fuck yeah. Absolutely.
Well, it seems what you're doing is way more important than, obviously places need clubs to have headliners, but this is it's people who just really love doing comedy, who are very constructive with each other, and it's you're helping build a community, which I think is awesome. Yeah. And it's seems like there's no frills. You just go and you work and you have fun, and that's I wish we had some places like that around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to own a community theater in San Diego years and years ago. My original degree is in theater, and I was a director and a playwright. And so I used to write a lot of plays, and I started a theater company in San Diego in 2001. And I only used plays by local playwrights because then I wouldn't have to pay for the rights.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing. If you do any play, I did No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre, and I directed that, and I loved that play. But I had to pay $70 a night to put that play on because I had to pay the rights on the play. But when you deal with local playwrights, you save money. Sure. And you're just working with the community, and you're booking local actors. This is when I used to do theater. So the problem with theater is that there's sets and props and costumes and lights and a lot of overhead and a lot of work. Whereas once I took over Mutiny Radio, I still see myself running a community theater. Yeah. It's just that there's no fucking props or costumes or set bullshit.
You don't have to worry about any of that. Yes.
It's theater of the mind.
Yes.
And I like producing theater of the mind, and I like the idea of being boxed in so that we can be even more creative and that people see it in their heads. And people say, well, why aren't you videotaping? And it's because I do radio, you assholes, because they're supposed to listen to it.
Yes.
I'm sorry it's not as accessible for you, you millennial fuck, that you need to see everything. Because you can't come up with your own images in your head, you lazy piece of dog shit. Whatever happened to radio, friends?
Right.
So I'm engaging people.
Yes.
In their mind. I feel like is more important than passively giving them images to imbibe. I feel like we make things way too easy now, and that's why critical thought is dead, and that's why the United States is falling apart.
Yes.
Because no one can make a fucking informed choice because they don't know how to think for themselves.
Amen.
Because everything is spoon-fed.
Yes.
So let's start thinking for ourselves again. Let's start reading and having stories in our heads where we come up with our own. One of my things, my imagination is so creative that I masturbate to podcasts. Come on.
We were talking about this earlier.
I masturbate to erotica actually online. And that's, I'm being 100% serious because I love to read and the shit's hot.
I masturbate to our Anchor.fm account that we have right now because I see that there's $1.21 in there. Yeah. And then another 30 episodes, and I'll be able to buy a 4 Loko.
Baht, bro. That's 40,000 baht. What?
40,000 won.
40,000 won. And we're going to fucking microwave, and then we'll get 3.8 million won. And then
I like this scheme. I'm in.
Yes, it sounds good. So you mentioned, obviously with, you're going off about the people you can't record and, you can't do video, blah, 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 blah. So you're obviously Mutiny is big with the stand-up. Obviously it's a podcast studio, but it's a place for stand-up, right? It's a place for stand-up comedy. And that's something that you and we were talking about. You just mentioned it earlier. You're like, I don't have to worry about props. I don't have to worry about anything, right? Stand-up is just you and a microphone and a crowd. We did this on the podcast out there during the comedy festival. We had a nice conversation about this. you've been doing stand-up for quite a while as well. So you, Jill of all trades.
9 years.
9 years.
I just had my 9-year anniversary was November 17th.
Okay.
November 17th, 2011 was my first 3-minute set.
Yes.
Any new comics out there, 5 punchlines is 3 minutes. Please don't get on stage without 5 punchlines.
There you go.
Thank you, Pam.
I know that story kills at the water cooler, and I know that everybody thinks you're funny at your job.
Yep.
Your essential job with your mask on now. I know everyone thinks you're fucking hilarious. But if you don't have 5 punchlines, fuck you. Don't get up at an open mic until you have 5 punchlines.
I love you. That's my favorite. These people be like, well, actually, I'm more of a storyteller. I'm like, well, actually, you've got 4 fucking minutes to make people laugh. And your story is 6 minutes of dog shit.
Yes.
So maybe cut that down and, have some punchlines. It would be fantastic.
Well, and it goes back to the millennial thing. It goes back to crafting your language. Now, I taught high school for years and junior high, and I've also taught college. And what I've seen over the passage of time is that these new kids, their first effort is their effort. It's not necessarily their best effort. It's their effort. And they're like, well, my effort was my effort. My mom always told me my effort was perfect. And my soccer coach told me that I got a participation trophy and I was doing good enough. And what I say to you is, no, it's not good enough. You're not smart enough. Your first effort wasn't good enough. You have to craft it. And that's what happens with these new comedians that come in. Oh, I just riff. No, you don't get to riff. You don't get to just riff until you've been writing for like 5 years.
Yes.
You've been writing for 3 years, and you have all these jokes, and now you want to rip in between? Fine. Good for you.
Yes.
But don't get up there. You're lazy. If you're in your first year of comedy and you're like, well, I just riff, that means you're lazy.
Yeah. That means you don't write.
Good enough.
Yes.
And then they say, I don't know why I'm not famous yet. I don't know why, because you're not working hard enough. Because they're millennial pieces of dog shit that don't know how to work because everyone gave everything to them. And they've been living in the United States where every effort is there. And you know what? Sometimes you can revise and you can make it better. And that's what good comics do. Good comics write and write and write. Yes. And they take that joke and they take out words and they change the words and they go, well, maybe wasn't. Maybe if I put were instead of was. What if I do a little alliteration here? What if I use a bunch of W?
Yeah.
No, that's not the right verb. My verb needs to be more pregnant. Like you work with your language and you're fucking crafting.
Yes.
And it makes me crazy when there are some people that see comedy as a craft, and there are some people that think that they're hilarious and why aren't you laughing? And then this is my biggest pet peeve, when people fucking blame the audience and they go, that worked last time. Well, that worked. What's wrong with you? No, don't point your finger at the audience. They're here for you. It's your job.
Yep.
You're the one that's supposed to be working.
Fuck yes.
Lazy.
Wow. It's like you stole my journal, Pam.
It's so true. I mean, there you go. Any comics that are listening, I honestly take that advice for fucking Christ's sake.
I've seen stuff about like Dave Attell, arguably the greatest comic of all time, and they'll like other comics will be like, he'll do a joke one night and it fucking murders, and then he'll go up the next night and do the same one, and he's not happy with the punchline, so he does another one, and that one, but he's constantly changing stuff, even though it's working, just because he's not happy with it.
Yep.
Because he's just so into the craft of joke writing that he's just never satisfied. Yeah. And like he's the best ever. And I'm gonna riff. I'm just a storyteller. I'm like, no, you suck.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop doing
I don't want to
that.
hear about your kids for 4 minutes and then a mediocre punchline at the end.
Yeah.
And or is there a punchline at all?
Maybe.
I know actual storytellers. There's a guy who used to run a storytelling class here on Saturdays, and he's great. But that's the thing about a story, is that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those are almost punches within it. And if you look at the story arc of beginning, middle, end, I call it a 10, right? Like, so it's punchline, 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 beginning.
Yeah.
Punchline, middle, punchline, end, then a big punchline at the end to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And then a couple tags off of that.
Yeah.
So like you're dealing with, in a story, if I'm telling a 3-minute story, There's 9 punchlines in it, at least.
Sure.
Then there's a 10th to wrap it up, and maybe there's tags on top of it.
Yes.
And of course, because aren't we all trying to be Jim Gaffigan? Aren't we all trying to get a laugh every 15 seconds?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the fucking goal.
Yeah.
And so if you don't craft the places to put the punchlines, what the fuck are we doing?
Yep. Amen to that. I couldn't say it any better myself.
But anybody who thinks that they can just talk, that's the beauty of a good storyteller, is that they make it seem like it's natural and that the punchlines are just there and they're just telling a story for the first time. And that's the beauty of it. But they've told that story for 10 years. They've been working on that fucking joke to make it perfect.
Yep.
And seamless. Like George Carlin, like motherfucking George Carlin. That guy, he did the same set almost every single time, but every time I've watched him, even with the same set, it still seems fresh. How the fuck did he do that? Because he's a terrible actor.
Yeah.
I saw him in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yes.
Rufus.
But when he's doing his own material, he's a fucking genius, and he makes it seem so fresh.
Absolutely.
And that's the trick.
Yeah, that's.
I study him. I study him like crazy.
That was my first comedy show. I was like 13. My aunt took me to see him.
Carlin?
Yep.
Oh, brilliant.
I couldn't even imagine, man.
George Carlin, then Stephen Wright, like a month later. That was my second.
Oh, Stephen Wright. So Stephen Wright and Matt Shedberg, 2 of my favorites because they're one-liner comics.
Yeah.
And one-liner comics work 15, 20 times as hard as anybody else.
Yeah.
Because if you do
Rodney
20 minutes of
Dangerfield is my
one-liners,
favorite.
that's 100 jokes.
Yeah.
20 minutes of one-liners is 100 fucking jokes.
Yep.
And Stephen Wright doesn't have a goddamn notebook up there. He ain't got no phone in his face.
Nope.
Mitch Hedberg never had anything with him. And he could do an hour of one-liners.
Yep.
How many fucking one-liners is in an hour? Like 200?
I've told Mike this story before, but
insane.
like a year and a half ago, I decided I was just going to be a one-liner comic. So I rewrote all my jokes as one-liners, and I went to a 3-minute open mic, and I did like 4, and then I forgot them all.
Forgot the rest.
So I was like, I don't think I'm going to write one-liners. I mean, I love writing one-liners, but it's just I couldn't do it. My memory is too shitty.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I smoke a lot of weed, but I have a good memory. Here's the trick. This is my trick to beginning comics. If there's anybody listening, they're a beginning comic. Don't bring your phone up. Don't bring your notebook up. You make sure you have a glass that's clear, and you write your set on a napkin, and you hold it behind the glass. And then when you take a sip of your drink, you look at your list, and nobody sees that but you. And you don't lift the fucking veil.
I like that.
And that way, if you're trying to do a one-liner set, and it's hard, it's fucking hard. It's a lot of work.
It really is.
But if you need a cheat sheet, write your tags, write them on a napkin, put it behind your glass, and that's your hand. All they see is your hand when you're taking a sip, but you're looking at your fucking list.
Yeah. So now I love that. That's actually a brilliant idea.
I like those people who write notes on their hand and then try to like casually gaze at their hand that's out like this. like they're trying to sneak like hey, see what you're doing. I mean, I don't care. I mean, if it's an open mic, if you need to bring notes, bring notes. Sure. But it's just funny when they like try to like sidelong gaze at their hand.
Like they're trying to look at the girl at the end of the bar. So that's actually a brilliant idea. I love that you brought that up because I mean, for other comics out there that end up, maybe drinking a little too much, and they're holding.
Don't know who you're talking about.
What do you do when you're holding your glass and then you end up falling asleep at the bar?
Well, that's when you start doing cocaine.
Thank you, Pam.
Here's a pro tip. If you've been doing cocaine for more than 24 hours, don't eat your boogers, smoke them.
Ah, wow.
You put them on a bowl.
That is by far the best advice that has ever been given on this show.
Listen to all the advice.
I know.
This is outstanding. This is outstanding.
Yeah,
so this is like a workshop in itself. Man, Pam, you're killing it. So fuck, dude. So all right. So dealing with the stand up there at Mutiny, you run the Mutiny Comedy Festival every year. What is how can people find out about both Mutiny Radio and the Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival?
Well, at mutinyradio.fm, we have all of our podcasts on the podcast link. You can look at all of the past 5 Mutiny Radio Comedy Festivals. The first year, I think we had like 20 podcasts, and last year we had like 70 podcasts in a week. But they all live there, and people can check them out.
The festival is like half and half stand up, and probably sounds like it might be more podcasts than, but it's like a dual festival sort of thing.
It's so there are shows at night, and then there's podcasts during the day, and I try to fill up as much time with as many voices as possible. And I've been trying to think about how I'm going to do it with COVID. So if COVID stays this way, I'm still going to run the Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival, but I can do it remotely in that I can do it via Zoom, and I can project it on the wall. So people can come here, and I can do half in person, so I can use the San Francisco comics that are here, and I can bounce back and forth between the Zoom and the live people, so that people are here watching a show, watching people be live remotely, but then also having a live comedian in front of them hosting. So it's interactive in multiple ways. That's what I'm thinking about doing for this year, just in case.
Well, I hope you can. I mean, that's great, and that you're planning ahead, but I hope you can do it like you wanted to do it and just have people there. Hopefully we'll be back enough to normal so you can have like the festival that Mike was telling me that he went to. You know, it sounded like a ton of fun.
I knew it was going to be a lot of fun when I showed up on day one before the festival kicked off, and I walk in, and there's Pam with her brightly colored unicorn rainbow jacket that says Lucifer on the back. She comes up and gives me, you're Mike, and gives me a big hug. And then the first thing she says is, she goes into this little fucking Tupperware container, and she's like, here, would you like a festival joint? I'm like, I am where I need to be. This is where I need to be.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was, I smoke pot assiduously. I smoke pot like it's the best thing that's ever happened, the legalization of weed in San Francisco. My parents used to tell me, they'd be like, you're 2 steps away from being homeless. You know too much about marijuana. What are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, now I know everything about it. Like, now I have real skills. That's an essential business. Growing weed is still fucking essential.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yay.
It's $1 billion industry.
I love the green future that we're all living in.
Hell
because I wake up and the first thing I do is smoke a bowl, and then I try to figure out the one-liner that I'm going to write, and it's all just, it's art all day long, and I love it. And I love smoking pot.
Your life sounds fantastic.
I've changed my whole life. Well, I've changed my whole life to be able to smoke pot every day. Like, I live in California. I live in San Francisco. I love smoking pot. I think it's really important. I think it opens everybody's minds to being more empathetic to one another. I mean, I was in graduate school for poetry, and I'd go to these poetry workshops, and I wouldn't understand the poems, and I'd go out at the break, and I'd smoke a J, and I'd come back in, and I'd be like, I fucking understand your poetry.
Yes.
I get it. I fucking hear you.
I see the sailboat now.
It's a schooner.
But it's the same thing with comedy. Like, when I'm super high, like, I get into the groove of just being super immersed. And that was the beauty of the comedy festival, is of the 5 years I've done the comedy festival, I've seen every single person's performance. I haven't missed a show.
Sure.
And I pride myself on that. And that's the thing that makes me a little crazy about comedians, is they come, they eat, they leave. They come, they do their set. I learned so much by watching people that are awesome, watching people that suck, but by being in the room and being supportive of my fellow comedians and creating a community where everybody can feel safe and listened to is also very important to me. Because what the fuck are we doing? We're screaming into the void, being like, listen to me, I exist, listen to me. And if I'm that one person in the room that's listening, you have value, and I value your fucking art, and I value your perspective, and I value your work, and I value your voice. And I think everyone's voice is unique. And even if you're telling a joke about Tinder, you can fucking make it your own.
Oh,
Good luck.
Absolutely. But not enough people do that, though. They don't. They just take that hack premise, and then they just kind of roll on. Well, hey, I'm single, and that's my favorite. Whenever a comedian gets up on stage, and the first thing they says is, well, I'm single. Anybody else on Tinder? It's like, yeah, no shit, you're single.
You get it's funny because you always get, I'm single, or just broke up with my girlfriend.
Shocker.
You get a clap break or not, depending on how good looking you are. You get a clap break or not. But
So true.
As we all know, sexual harassment is based on how good looking you are. So
Yes,
if you're
it
ugly
is.
and you tell someone, then if you're good looking, it's flirting in the workplace.
Yes.
If you're not good looking, it's sexual harassment.
Yep.
We all know that's true.
Yeah.
Come on.
Speak the truth, goddammit. That's right. Fucking A.
I mean,
That's why Melania has never sexually harassed anyone in her
Anybody.
whole life.
no, she's gorgeous when she's friends. My question about Melania, she's from either Slovenia or Slovakia.
I think it's Slovakia.
Well, both countries border Hungary, and my God, she's starving. Someone feed her something, anything. Can she eat?
Where's
Is she allowed to
Turkey?
eat
Where's
the
Turkey over there?
sublet? He's restricting her calories. He's like, don't stop looking pretty. Otherwise, I need a lot of clout, trophy wife.
Saw what happened to my other two wives when they got old, didn't you? All right.
They're no longer trophy wives set to make billions of dollars in inheritance. Oh man. So dude, I mean, how can you, that's such good advice that we've got from Pam Benjamin.
Someone who's been, because like Mike and I don't give advice because Mike and I have been doing this not a very long time.
No,
and
not
like
at
we were
all.
laughing at the shit you were saying with like, it's 3 minutes, 4 minutes, that's 5 punchlines. Like we're like, yeah, and like we don't do that. But that's what you're trying to do.
Trying to get
to get some punchlines, and it's like, there's people older than me that are like, well, I'm just a storyteller. That just fucking drives me nuts. I tell like you're at a 4 minute, 5 minute open mic if you're lucky. Like the storytelling comics, they do hour specials, and each story is like a quarter of an hour.
Yeah.
The Comedy Central show, This Isn't Happening.
Oh, it's my
one girl who talks
favorite.
about drinking. The girl who drinks her meth pee.
Yeah,
That is the best story. And it's a 7-minute story. And it's hot. And it has tons of punchlines in it. And it's amazing.
I've seen her on a couple of other podcasts, and she's her life story is fucking crazy interesting. And I can't remember her name, but I think Jessa Palumbo or something. But
if you look up meth pee, you'll find her.
Yes.
Like but the point is that if you listen to that 7-minute story, there are so many punchlines embedded in there.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so great.
Yeah.
And when people get lazy and then blame the audience, like, what the fuck? Here's the other thing I think. A lot of comedians get really competitive with one another. And I don't know if this happens in Austin, but it happens a lot in San Francisco.
It does.
Yeah, a little bit.
I try to tell comedians we shouldn't be competitive with one another because the audience has an infinite ability to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
The audience is there and they want to laugh.
Really good point.
And they want to laugh at your 5 minutes and your 5 minutes and his 5 minutes and her 5 minutes and their 5 minutes and whoever's 5 minutes. We shouldn't be competing. We should be more collaborative because everyone can make them laugh. You're alone up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares who had the better set? Hopefully everyone had the best set and the audience laughs consistently the whole fucking show.
Absolutely.
That's something I'm gonna work on more with myself, trying to keep things in perspective. But it's because we're not being grown up being competitive.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it really doesn't matter. Why? I don't know.
And especially it happens between women really more often because there are fewer of us. And so it becomes like, well, she's on that show and what did she do? And blah, blah, blah. No. It doesn't matter what they do. You're unique. Your voice is unique and original and amazing. And you have those 5 to 10 to 15, hopefully someday, minutes where you get to make the audience be on your team. And Richard Pryor said I heard him do an interview and it was right before he went on stage and someone asked him, what do you want right now? And he said, I just want them to like me.
Yep.
And I was like, holy fuck, that's how I feel. But if we all felt like if we're all just working for the audience, it kills the competition between us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So, I mean,
this is like a little masterclass.
It's a little masterclass.
I'm getting a lot out of this, Pam. Thank you. It's been a while since I've been able to talk to. I mean, Mike and I talk comedy, but it's someone who's been doing it for a really long time. This has been really cool.
Yeah, and doing it there in the Bay Area, which obviously we know San Francisco. I mean, you're right there in California. You got LA, you've got San Francisco. Those are the two main areas. Every major comic has gone through San Francisco.
And
of course, the San Francisco Comedy Festival, comedy competition, or not the festival, the competition that so many big comics have won. Like one of my personal favorites, Doug Stanhope. You know, like oh, dude. I mean, so many great comics have come through the Bay Area.
Talk about storytelling.
Yes.
That motherfucker can tell a motherfucking story.
He can.
Doug Stanhope
He sure can.
tell a fucking story and make you laugh the whole way through.
The story
I
about
even
his
love it when
mom.
he calls his girlfriend a retard. Like that whole story where he goes off and he's like illuminating mental health issues and talking about his girlfriend, and it's so funny, and he's not punching down to mental health. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I marvel when people cannot punch down and talk about real issues and still be hilarious.
Yep.
Like
Yes.
it's magic. It's what's going to change the world. It's the empathy and it's the mind opening shit that's what's going to be what saves us as a people. Because when you listen to, oh my God, Dave Chappelle's fucking 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
8:46, yeah.
And how much of it was funny and how much of it was mind-opening, but that he used his platform and his ability to bring light to an issue that is
to make a statement about something.
so pervasive. That's political, and it's so important for people to use their platform when they have it to illuminate the issues that are dividing us.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, he's done that. Like his last 3 specials, they're all hilarious, but he's always got he's got something important to say. And it's weird because grew up watching Chappelle's show, which is just hilarious and silly and funny. And like his older specials where he's brilliant and he's one of the best ever, but it's just but now it's like he always has something poignant to say, but he also hits you with like a belly laugh through it that he's talking about something kind of serious and then he hits you with a punchline and you're fucking doubled over laughing, and it's amazing that he can get from that, saying something really poignant and important, and then he hits you with a punchline and it doubles you over.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, hell yeah.
And he's been through some shit. Remember when he disappeared to South Africa forever and had a fucking nervous breakdown?
Yeah, just hilarious.
And he came back stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Great, good for him. And I love it when people have been through some shit. One of the most sexiest things that I see on men is stretch marks. When a dude used to be fat,
I got plenty of them.
He's fucking thin, and he's got, but he's got those stretch marks, and it's like, bro, you've been through some shit, and that is sexy as fuck to me. I also really like scars and like just demarcations of time and movement through their lives, like that. I find very hot. So
when you say stretch marks and you've been through some shit, I mean, does it? I agree. I have tons of stretch marks, and I've been through some shit. I've been through some shit. It's just my shit is like I've been through some lots of pizzas, and a severe alcohol problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So you're down with that? That's good. Oh, gotta love that, man. Fat guy stretch marks. Hell yes. Pam finds that sexy.
Sexy.
Yeah. Woo.
I'm getting into bald guys. Dear Lord. And especially when they don't try to hide it and just like shave it and are fucking down with it and don't wear a hat and they're like, this is me. That's fucking sexy. And when guys are like, oh, I lost my hair and I don't feel sexy anymore, I'm like, dude, that's your problem. That has that has nothing to do with me. Like those are seriously your issues. I'm definitely seeing a spectrum of hotness. Sure. And, this is a thing I wanted to do, but nobody would let me do it because they're like, you're going to Weinstein everybody and you're going to get to show them what the fuck's wrong with you.
Wait, dear.
I wanted to have a show that was the sexiest men comedians in San Francisco and have them all apply. And then when they win, they get to be in a calendar for Mutiny Radio. And I say sexy as a spectrum. So
I remember you talking about this.
That's a great idea. You should definitely do that.
I remember you talking about this at this past year's festival.
And they wouldn't let me. The guys were like, no, I'm not going to get into that. I'm like, who will apply? They're like, no, I'm not going to apply. I'm like, no, please. Oh my God, this will be so great. Nobody jumped on board with me.
No, dude.
And I'm like, what if I did the sexiest women?
Oh, you'd have 1,000 applications.
Like, yeah, I'll get into that.
Yeah.
So all the women are like, yeah, let's do a calendar and let's be sexy. And all the guys are like, oh no, I'm worried about this or that. And I'm like,
dude. And then there was that comic out there that we were hanging out with the entire time. He's a regular there, Nathan, and
Nathan, he moved to LA.
Did he?
Nathan moved to LA and he's already killing it.
Oh, I'm not surprised. He was fucking hilarious, but he was like so anti, like, no, I don't want to do it. And he had there was the one time that we had there was a few girls in the crowd and they were just in love with him. They were absolutely. It's like, dude, this is why you need to do this calendar idea. You know, you could have sold merch. Oh man, and he was like, no, I don't want to do it. All right, dude. All right, fine.
He was saying he was fat back then, but now that he moved to LA, he's like working out again, and he's hot as fuck. But he got to LA
shredded when I was there, for Christ's sake.
He met the right people like the first week. He's already hosted like 3 or 4 shows.
Okay.
He's already embedded himself in LA. I'm so proud of him.
Nice. We have a friend like that too, actually, who did that.
Actually, he's going to be on with us on Monday night. Our buddy from LA.
Really super personable guy, and he just like we're like, dude, the town's gonna fall in love with you a week after you move there.
You can tell the people that when they move out there, they're gonna do well. And Nathan's one of those guys where we were just saying our buddy Mikey, he's gonna be on with us on Monday night.
I mean, and you obviously have to be funny. You can't just go out there on personality.
No, of course not.
So these guys are like, I don't know this Nathan person, but I know Mikey is hilarious.
Yeah,
and he's also just he's so good at networking. And it's not like he's even trying. He's just such a personable person. You can't help but fall in love with him.
That likable factor, man. That's the key. Like you were just saying.
It's exactly.
Yep.
Or on the flip side, being completely unlikable can also work in your favor.
Yes.
It's like you gotta pick your side.
Yep.
That's Mike and I more fall on that side of the line.
I have 10 minutes of abortion jokes. Some people find that very endearing. Some people want to murder my face.
Yeah, this is why we got along. This is exactly why we got along.
I like to be edgy. I like to be. So Nathan is my second favorite comedy son. I have one comedy daughter, and she's amazing. She's a gem. Rachel Pinson, look her up. God,
I know Rachel. So yeah, she runs the.
I love Rachel.
I worked on one of her shows over there when I was there for the festival. That was one of the offshoot shows.
Right at Delirium.
Yes, at Delirium.
She worked so hard.
That was such a good room too.
Really?
Such a good room.
Rachel is my perfect comedy daughter, but I have 6 comedy sons.
Wow, big family, man.
I changed their ranking depending on how big of assholes they are at the time.
Yes.
And right now, Nathan is my second favorite comedy son. He works so hard. I love him so much.
Yeah.
Sam is obviously my favorite comedy son.
Yes.
I hooked Sam up. I hooked him up with 4. So there's a new venue in Oakland called the Oakland Unicorn, and it's an outdoor venue, and it's amazing. And it's opening weekend starting tomorrow, and I'm hosting, and I got Sam on all 4 shows for opening weekend.
Awesome.
Sam is actually a New England guy, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's a Boston. He's a Massachusetts guy. So yeah, that's awesome.
That Boston accent.
Yeah.
He says terrible. He says terrible in a really cute way. But he's my favorite comedy son, and then Nathan, and then right now Aaron Atkins. He was here earlier tonight. He's my third favorite comedy son, even though we fight a lot. And then probably Billy. Billy is another one of my Billy Sullivan. He's a comedy son. And then at the bottom of the barrel is Pancake.
Pancake. Oh, I remember Pancake.
Billy's a Frisco guy, and he can say that because he was born here. No one else can call it Frisco unless you were born here.
Yeah.
But Pancake is my least favorite comedy son. Although he's getting a lot funnier, and I don't say he's my least favorite comedy son because his material isn't great, because it is, but because he doesn't pass around the GoFundMe enough.
Right. Yes. Well, you mentioned the GoFundMe. Because you said obviously Mutiny Radio is an essential service because it is radio, but obviously, I mean, with all the stuff that's going on right now, it's been up on Facebook and everything like that, but you guys are still struggling to keep the doors open because, I mean, just like a lot of businesses are, but I mean, something is essential essential as, like you said, free speech. In this day and age, free speech is the most important thing that we need to be worrying about.
It's
And
the First Amendment for a reason.
yes, and
Right?
and Mutiny Radio is a beacon of free speech. Obviously, it's performance venue, podcast, comedy, like everything. It is a beacon of free speech.
Poetry,
Yes, everything.
local news,
The
world
arts,
news,
the arts.
opinions, all of it. But
Yes.
arts, the whole deal.
Now you mentioned you have a You've mentioned you have a
The
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe,
Yes. Where can we get that GoFundMe? We'll put it up on our social media, obviously. But tell people
We're
that are
also
listening.
pretty big in Ireland and Pakistan, Pam. So we'll get that up there, and we'll get you some. I don't know what
Denmark. Yeah. So the GoFundMe is on the front cover of our website, mutinyradio.fm. If you look up GoFundMe and you look up Mutiny Radio, we're right there. I finally applied for unemployment, so I'm going to be getting back paid through the government.
That's good.
Oh, that's nice. I've been on that.
Yes.
I've been on that gravy train.
I have not accepted that money. I just applied last week, right under the gun.
Yeah. Good.
So
just in time.
I know, and it's so funny because why can't Californians have guns? Because they're always triggered by everything. I applied under the gun. So I'm going to get it, and it's great. So I'm going to get this $12,000, and that is going to keep the station alive through December. I'm going to put all the money into the station.
Fuck yes.
And
truly though, I was joking, but we'll plug it as much as we can. We don't have a huge media presence, but I've never been there, but it sounds awesome. And
it is awesome.
Whatever we can do to help you keep going, we'll for sure help.
If it's cool with you, after this podcast is edited, if you send it to me via WeTransfer, I'll put it on our night playlist. And
absolutely.
Oh,
hell yeah.
As well.
Oh, absolutely.
And live stream. So when we're not doing live programming, it'll be in the Kitty podcast that just rotates and cycles around. I'd love to. You can send me all of them. Send me the other 16 episodes, and I'll put them on our night playlist, and we'll just scroll through them.
Absolutely.
Because I want to support. That's the whole purpose of Mutiny Radio, is to support artists anywhere who are doing anything. It's all about doing. It's all fucking Yoda.
Yes.
Do or do not. There is no try. Or just do try. Trying is good too.
Yes.
But doing is better. So you guys are doing, and that's amazing. And I want to support anyone doing anything during these times.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're fucking yourself on. I'd like to see some. I don't want to pay for OnlyFans, but hey, girls, if you want to send me some of your videos personally to mutinyRadioDirector.fm,
awesome.
I'll watch them. I'll give you notes on the lighting, or let you know if I see that ingrown hair on your puss.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm talking about myself right now. I have an ingrown hair on the side. I didn't realize until I sent a video to an old man. I usually do them as one takes, and I don't always watch them.
Yeah.
And I watched back on this one, and I was like, "Oh shit! You can see that fucking ingrown hair on the puss."
It's got the little red head. Oh, that's fucking ridiculous. So, all right. So Pam's going to get an OnlyFans page eventually here. So when you get that, send that over to us, and we'll put that out on our social media as well. Check out Pam on OnlyFans.
I have a cyst on the side of my vagina. Sometimes it gets puffy, and I like to shoot it for distance.
There you go. There you go.
Like,
now
can
we're
I
talking.
hit the wall with this thing? You squeeze it and see how far that weird shit shoots, man.
Oh, man.
Like, I ain't got a dick, but I'm trying to shoot things out of my vag. Come on, man.
Isn't that called MRSA? Isn't that MRSA? Isn't that a staph infection of some sort? Oh, man.
It's an ingrown hair as far as I know. I don't know.
Oh, God damn. So,
I'll send you the video. You tell me.
Oh,
Wait, you have a wife.
There
I'm
it
not gonna
is.
Send you a video.
All right. So we can find you at mutinyradio.fm. And do you have any personal social media you want to plug? So that way we can.
No,
obviously, people have heard how fucking hilarious you are.
Mutiny Radio.
It's all Mutiny Radio.
Our Instagram is Mutiny Radio.
Okay.
FM or Mutiny Radio SF. Mutiny Radio SF is our Instagram. I'm not good at updating it. I should try harder. On Facebook, that's where I'm an old lady, so I understand the algorithms of Facebook. So that's where you can find Mutiny Radio.
So
you can find us mutinyradio.fm. We stream live. We're on iTunes. You can find us Mutiny Radio. You can subscribe to any of our podcasts and download our RSS feed.
Excellent.
And listen to all of our weird things. But yeah, I want comedy to stay alive. I think that the Shakespearean fool is a trope that's existed in our media and all of our literature for a long time, because the fool tells the truth without with responsibility, but without, like, they used to chop our heads off, but now like, just keep telling the truth. All the comics, just keep telling your truth and say things that are important to you, and spread the word that we can change the world one joke at a time. Because it's all about empathy and understanding other people's perspectives.
Hell yeah. So anybody that's listening to that, or comics, whatever, dude, just take some of that advice. It's definitely worth it. Like, I can vouch for myself for whatever that's worth. Getting out there and working with Pam on the Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival, being there for a week, working with them and everybody that was out there. It was one of the best experiences that I ever had in comedy. It really was. It was so much fun. And Pam, we had a great time. You've been fantastic on.
Seriously, this was awesome.
It's been awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on.
So,
well, come out to comedy summer camp next year. Even if you feel like COVID's too scary, come out.
COVID doesn't scare me. I already had it, and you know what? That was the most painful fucking 18 hours I've ever had. It was nothing. It was absolutely fucking nothing. But Pam, I got to tell you. I do see that you have a beverage in your hand. I see that you've got one right there. That's right. There it is. And because this is a San Francisco-ish show, we do booze reviews now on Thursdays because it's Thirsty Thursday. So that means I do have a beer in the house from San Francisco for our staple segment, Booze Reviews.
Tonight, we're getting bumped up. We all got wasted. We got fucked up and wasted. We got fucked up.
All right, Pam. Because we are doing booze reviews, and this is a San Francisco themed show, I have in the studio, I showed you this earlier, it's Anchor Steam Beer by the Anchor Brewery right there in San Francisco. Tell me about Anchor Brewery. Pam, you know about Anchor.
Well, I believe it started in 1896 here, before the turn of the century.
Dead accurate. Look at that. I didn't even show. She knows it so well. I didn't even. I swear to God, I did not even show her the label. She just.
No. Hey, I'm from San Francisco. I know these things. And awesome. They've had a brewery here in the city.
Yep.
Since then, they survived the 1906 earthquake.
Yep.
Right now, they're currently unionizing, which I think is amazing.
Okay.
The Anchor Brewer conglomerate, they're trying to value their own labor, and I think that's important. Beer is definitely essential. Anybody 100%. Who knows, well, that's how we used to, before water was potable, it had to have alcohol in it, and people drank beer. We know this. It brought us through the fucking plague. Beer is important. Anchor Steam's important. It's a local San Francisco brand. It's always been great. It's always been consistent. Isn't
it strange that beer brought us through the plague back in the day, but now it's also bringing us through the China plague now, right? Isn't that amazing? Like, alcohol sales are through the roof during the COVID-19 crisis. Oh my God. I got to tell you, I picked this beer up, and it's Anchor Steam Beer, and I take a sip, and it literally, I'm just like, wow, this is pretty goddamn good stuff. This is really good stuff. And now
it's a nut brown ale. Is it a nut brown ale? It's not a red ale.
I think it's a red. Yeah, it looks like it's a red. But it has like it's a little hoppy, but it also has, like, when you pour it into a glass, it has that thick head on the top. Not quite like a Guinness, but it has that thick head.
On a scale of 1 to
Budweiser. I had a nickel. I like a thick head, baby.
You do like a thick head. Craig was wondering, on a scale of 1 to Budweiser, what is this? And I'm sorry. Craig, I didn't step on your line tonight. First off, Craig is a Budweiser guy, Bud heavy, okay?
Well, right now I'm a nothing guy. I'm taking a little break.
He is taking a
sabbatical from booze.
Yes.
So I'm drinking Gatorade Zero right now.
One too many Budweiser heavies. And Craig's like, yeah, all right, I need to take a month off, you know? So.
Budweiser is like what? 3.8, and that Anchor Steam is probably at least a 4.2.
It's a 5. It's a 5.
I'm sure it's infinitely better in taste. I'm just poor, so that's usually.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just talking about alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
Like I mean, a 5% beer. It's hard for me to drink anything less than 5.2% because I like IPAs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm not going to drink a Bud Light Lime that has 3.2. What's the point? How many Bud Light Limes do I have to drink in order to...
Pam, I need to know how many Natty Ices would you drink because they're 5.9%.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, a 15-pack of Natty Ices would last me 5 nights. I could get, and I would be super POC out. I would be definitely having a white out or a brown out, not a blackout.
No, let's not go down that road.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all.
All right. Oh, damn it. Way to go, sound. Not Jamie. You.
Jesus.
So anyways, no, we do have Anchor Steam beer. It's about 5%, and I got to tell you, it's fucking delicious. I'm already like 5 in, and I'm so glad that I got this 6-pack in here for today because this has literally just brought me back to the Mutiny Comedy Festival. I'm just like, this is fucking great. Definitely missed my time. So. I definitely recommend, and the only problem with it is that they got that shitty name. The brewery has a shitty name and a shitty Anchor. We don't like anything that has Anchor. In the studio, we don't like anything that has Anchor.
Yeah, unless they're going to start paying us 68
Unless they
cents
start paying us more than 68 cents an episode.
Then we'll talk. Then we'll talk.
Oh, those motherfuckers. Look at that. They're getting they're getting so much ad time right now.
Yeah.
Fuck Anchor.fm, but don't fuck Anchor Brewery. Yes. We do love the Anchor Steam beer, Anchor Brewery.
So do you know why? So here's the thing that was interesting in 1896 when everything happened in San Francisco. So when people were coming for the gold rush, they left their boats. They'd come on a boat and they left so quickly that they would just abandon their boats. Yep. So what people were doing in San Francisco is they would flip the boats upside down and they would turn them into bars.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
They would drink inside of them. And that was one of the first, when the Old Ship Saloon, one of the first bars in San Francisco, was actually an old ship that was turned upside down. They put a door in it and they turned it into a bar. Yeah. And so that was the whole thing about like anchors, is people weren't even anchoring their ships. They were like getting into the harbor. They were jumping off their boats and they were abandoning them and getting up to Sacramento and getting up to the hills as quickly as they could. And so the San Francisco is basically built. All of the downtown, all of the financial district is actually built on top of all these old ships.
That's really
that they
cool.
just flipped over, and then they just pushed like garbage on top of it. And then we built San Francisco, which is why when the really, really big earthquake does happen, everything's going to go liquefaction.
Yeah.
Like the entire downtown is going to liquefy, all of the marina, 50% of downtown San Francisco is built on nothing.
Dude, I didn't even know that. Holy fuck. That's fucking insane.
I think we should have someone new come on here and do our history segments because she's way better at it than I am.
I had no idea. So what are they going to do when everything liquefies and everything and you got all those piles of human feces? Is that going to pollute the Pacific or what?
Well, that's when I'm going to start looting the CVS.
Oh, there you go.
Like
there it
when
is.
that shit goes down, CVS ain't got no toilet paper, no chips left. I'm getting all the Pringles.
Yes.
I want all the salt and vinegar Pringles, and I need all of the scented toilet paper ASAP.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm stealing.
I'm going to build a boat out of 3-ply.
I'm going to build a boat. I'm going to build a boat out of all the old, all of the discarded water bottles, because I can whip those together with some paracord, and I can make myself like a little raft, and I can just live out on the bay on my little raft.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh man. So thank you, San Francisco. Thank you, Pam, on that. I mean, flipping the fucking boats upside down, turning them into bars and everything. Oh my God. And this is where Anchor Brewery started since 1896.
1896.
And I got to tell you, this Anchor Steam beer, dude, it's fucking pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I am liking it here in the studio tonight, here in the Clubhouse. It's good. We do appreciate Anchor Brewery for providing this one, kind of, sort of. So thank you very much for that. Pam, thank you for the awesome history lesson on San Francisco.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Craig.
Yeah.
Hey, Pam, we have a...
I'm excited for the next segment, to be honest.
Yes, the next segment
I
is...
saw what it was on the list, and I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
All right, so our final segment of the show, we give this out every Thursday.
Yeah.
It used to be every Monday. We give out, it's called the Golden Boner Award, okay? And it's basically the idiot of the week.
Yeah.
Okay, we've had really good ones in the past couple of weeks. But this one's pretty solid. Craig actually personally found this one. He didn't even have to wait on Not Jamie to fucking get that one put together.
I don't want to, I'm not going to hold my breath for Not Jamie. I'll suffocate.
Seriously, yeah, you might fucking suffocate. So that means it's time for our final segment of Thursday. Thirsty Thursday, it's the Golden Boner Award.
You fucking idiot, piece of shit.
Craig, tell us who our Golden Boner Award winner is today.
It's a couple.
It's a couple.
It's Miss...
oh, yes.
It's Miss Lori Vallow.
Okay.
And Chad Daybell.
All right.
And...
what did they do?
Well, they murdered children and buried them in a garden. And then called...
What?
Yeah. It's a fucked up story. I needed to read more into it, but this woman is Lori Vallow. She's this guy Chad Daybell. He's a crazy Mormon, and he writes apocalyptic fiction for Mormons.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a big hit with him.
Okay. For apocalyptic fiction for Mormons.
Yeah, they're all about like the rapture and shit. So
Special underwear.
So she was arrested for like child endangerment because they couldn't find her her stepchildren. It's actually Daybell's kids. And so she was arrested in Hawaii for that. And while she was arresting, they were investigating it. They went to Daybell's house to execute a search warrant.
Yeah.
And while she's talking to her husband on the phone, being like, "Oh, they seizing our stuff again," they dig up their children's bodies in a garden. A 7-year-old little autistic girl and an older son, Tylee, who's 17. So they found them in the garden while she's talking to her husband in jail, knowing full well these conversations are being recorded.
Wait, so she was talking to him while they were literally... All right, knowing the conversations from jail are being recorded.
Yeah.
And says, hey, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh,
She actually
retard
says,
alert.
He's like,
Retard alert, class.
we're not supposed to be talking right now, but it is really good to hear from you. And apparently this guy, Chad Daybell, his first wife, the first Mrs. Daybell, died under very mysterious circumstances, and he opted not to have a autopsy done. I think he was like citing religious beliefs. So they probably killed the wife too.
Yeah.
And then I guess they just waited a while to murder their children. Allegedly murder their children and bury them in a garden.
Allegedly.
And like
But how were those tomatoes? Huge
tomatoes.
Yeah.
Blue ribbon at the county fair that year. Tasted a little weird. But
Do you think? I was gonna say, do you think those tomatoes are kind of juicy, or you think they're very plump?
I mean, it sounds like he was trying to grow Soylent Green, but they caught him before.
It's people.
And apparently, like, as she's talking to him on the phone, and they're digging up the children in the backyard, he's like, I'm feeling pretty calm right now. Like, he was very calm, cool, collected.
Sure.
As his murdered children. Pulled out of the rose garden.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Usually we try to make these a little funnier, but it was kind of a grim news week. And this was the best one I could get. Sorry to kind of end the show on a bummer, but But guess what? She's in jail. He's going to jail. So, yeah, they killed some kids, and that's terrible. But they're both going to rot in prison.
Well,
so.
It's just crazy that, like, I think the funniest part about this story is, like, they're talking to each other on the fucking phone while she's in jail, knowing full well that they record these conversations. They are listening to these conversations as they're saying, because what are they looking for? They're looking for, like, code words and shit like that.
Or just, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they found the kids in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoopsie.
And then they still sit there and they're like fucking, and they actually have the
what is that? Is that a foot? Did you find a foot back there?
My God. Knowing full well that they're recording that shit.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Oh, my God. Way to go.
That's a new one. I like that.
Yes.
That sounds like Mr. Garrison.
It's Mr. Garrison. All right. So what's her name?
Her name is Lori Vallow.
Okay. And what's his name?
Chad Daybell.
Oh, Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. Congratulations, because you two fucknuts are this week's Golden Boot Award winners. That's right.
Congratulations.
Fucking idiot.
Much deserved.
Shit.
Much deserved.
Very much deserved. Well, that's our show, man. That was a good one.
Yeah.
It was solid. We did almost a full 2 hours. As per you, that's
wow,
like our
that one flew right by.
That's like our thing now. You know,
I think that's our sweet spot.
It's our sweet spot. So we do have a lot of guests coming up over the next couple of weeks. As you said, we got Mike Eaton's going to be here on Monday night with us.
All the way from
and then we got
City of Angels.
And Craig, I know you're excited about this one. We got our main episode coming up a week from today.
That's right. That's next week. Hell yeah.
We're going to
I
exploit
have to
the shit.
Fucking drink Moxie on that one, don't I?
Yes, we are going to exploit the shit out of the state of Maine on Thursday night. Pam, have you ever been to Maine?
No, I dream about the place where the bonfires are lit and the lobsters are ripe.
Yes.
I think that Maine is actually, they should start calling it like New Boyfriendland. Like everyone should go on like a camping trip there and murder some lobsters and like fuck on the beach with a bonfire on those rocky, beautiful beaches.
Yep.
And Stephen King, and you can read Stephen King stories to each other by the
yes, you can.
firelight.
Yep.
Yes.
Stephen King actually was he's an alma mater of both my college and my high school. Stephen King.
My college as well.
Yeah. In case you were wondering
Wait,
why
you went to college in
fucked
Maine?
up.
Yeah, University of Maine.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, Stephen King, he's amazing. If you go to University of Maine and you're a creative writing major and you're from Maine, it's a full ride scholarship thanks to Stephen King.
Yeah, he's far and away the biggest donor at that college. He also rebuilt a ton of libraries in the state of Maine, which is awesome. And the library in Bangor is one of the most beautiful libraries you'll ever go.
He runs
BPL, man.
He runs 2 radio stations at a loss because he says that the government doesn't charge him enough taxes.
Yeah.
So he runs 2 radio stations in Maine at a loss to be a job creator and to put his money back into the economy and to create art.
KTL
and
is one of them. I had a friend who lived, basically was a neighbor with him. Not really, because there's like one street where it's all the rich people in Bangor lives, and he has the nicest house there.
Yeah.
It's really cool
West Broadway
fence. It has like bats and spiders and stuff in the
gargoyles on the building.
But
it's really cool.
Just like you just see him out walking his dog and shit, or at the store. He's like he's just a regular guy.
Yeah, it's awesome
with an amazing imagination.
Well, we'll talk about Stephen King on our fucking main episode. We're gonna have comedian Eric Patno in here with us, who's another Maine
from the same hometown
as you.
I just met him this last year.
So we're gonna have Eric Patno in here on Thursday nights, a week from tonight, for our main episode. It's gonna be fucking retarded. I know Not Jamie's probably been working on some of those sound drops and stingers and everything like that for the past week. I know that's probably why he's so distracted. And then of course, like I said, Monday night we do have our good friend Mike Eaton from Los Angeles. He's going to be in here on the studio with us in studio. That's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, the show's continuing to grow. Pam, it's been so much fun having you on the show
awesome,
tonight.
Pam. Thank you so much.
Oh my God! And I can't stress it enough. Go check out mutinyradio.fm. They have a GoFundMe up there. definitely fucking contribute.
If you're thinking about contributing to our show, just
send it over there first.
Give it to Mutiny Radio.
Send it over there first.
They actually have like rent and shit.
Yes.
We just run it out of Mike's studio.
Yes.
And they give it to them.
So send that over.
Well, and download. Go to the Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival 2020, and you'll see all the ones with Mike Hudak. He was in like 10 shows. So listen to the
I didn't even know about
tones of his
that.
beautiful voice.
Listen to everybody else except for me.
Listen to 2019 FPIA's least funny person in Austin, Mike.
I did. You know what? I was the 2019 funniest person in Austin, last place finisher. So you know,
and I was the 2019 funniest person in Austin participant. So.
Yeah, we both got the ribbons. It was awesome. It was really cool. So no, we do appreciate you hanging out with us, Pam. It's been so much fun.
Really,
it was really great catching up with you again. I can't wait to get back to San Francisco for Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival 6. One way or another, we're gonna fucking get out there. We're gonna hang out, and it's gonna be a good time.
If you do come up here for like a weekend in San Francisco, I can book you here and at Oakland Unicorn. So
hell yeah.
You can have at least 2 real shows if you come up.
Fuck yes.
So much fun.
Absolutely. And the Bay Area is a lot of fun, man. It is
beautiful.
Really
I've been there, and I did like a little California trip when I was in high school.
Yeah.
San Francisco was by far my favorite place.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a lot of fun. As much as we all make fun of San Francisco, it's still a fucking cool ass spot to go. It's still a lot of fun. I can't wait to get back out there. Pam, fucking A, you've been great. You've been great.
Yeah.
And Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival, mutinyradio.fm. Definitely check it out, guys, on social media. You know, I can't recommend it enough. I really can't.
Thank you, Mike. You guys are amazing. It's been a lot of fun.
Love you, Pam. Thank you so much for everything. And of course, we always say that, if you enjoyed your time here today with us in the clubhouse, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. Fuck it. You know what? Give it a listen. Give it a like. Give it a share at GFY Social Club. # join the club. Social media, YouTube. You know it. You can find us everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Twice a week, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Podbean, so many fucking more. Anchor.fm, of course. Fuck them. We really thank you for listening, and we'll catch you again on Monday night with Mikey Eaton in studio for episode 18. Craig.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.